Hello and welcome to PAXTON Road TV. I am Sam Spurs for Life, and this is your PAXTON Road TV preview show for the game Tottenham Hotspur versus Burnley, which kicks off at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock on a Sunday, the first game of the weekend. Yeah, they're doing us dirty. Anyway, 12 o'clock on Sunday at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Must-win game again. It's all must-win. Championship rounds, as they say, last two games of the season. But my mantra, I've stolen from Sid, is one game at a time. So let's deal with the Burnley game first before we get into the whole stream with the guests. Make sure you smash a like on the stream, notifications as well. Share all this stuff around. Comment in the comment section below, and we'll endeavor to try and get this. So I'm joined in the house by residents, as always, Darius 3K, Sean Hurl, and Sid. I'm going to call him Sid in the corner. And we've got special guest joining us, Jordan, but you're going to call yourself George. Is that fair? Yeah?
Yeah, George, J4, Jordan. I go by all the names.
He goes by many names, and we'll get your details at the end of this anyway, so you can tell the viewers where they can find you. But anyway, let's get into this now. Let's start with our guest, George. As I said at the start of the show, this is getting into the championship rounds now. As they say, the last couple of games, we saw how they did and performed against Arsenal. Mentality was there. The physicality was there. The tactical approach was there. How do you see this one now going? It's against Burnley, going to be a completely different game. Spurs need to win. Burnley need to win. What's your thoughts?
I think this is a game, like you said, Burnley need to win. And that's where the emphasis needs to be. We're playing at home in our last game, but it's points that we need, but Burnley aren't going to be able to play the way that they usually play. They aren't going to be able to play on a low block because really and truly they need 3 points. They need a point, and they're not going to be able to stop our attacking threat. We see in the last game that we played them, yes, we conceded that late goal, and it was to a Ben Mee header from Christian Romero. Both of those players not playing, both out for the game, both two key players for the defenses. And so a massive miss for Burnley is what's going to help us open them up at the back. We created a lot of chances in that game. We had the Kane header that hit the bar. Emerson cut it back, and that was that Ben Davies chance. We had a few close chances where we thought we should have won that game. We should have closed it out. But it was one of those nights, weren't it? Like a late night at Turf Moor. They toughed us out. But I do expect a much different performance going into this one. I know we had, of course, a lot of hope after the City game, and it's very similar in this stance where we've got a lot of hope now after the Arsenal game. Our team's in high spirits. They let us down that time, but I do think that Harry Kane is going to step out this game. Sonny, he's gunning for that golden boot. No one can stop him right now. You've seen he was the key player to opening up that Arsenal defense, and I think it's going to be the same thing against Burnley. And in the transitions, I think we're going to kill them. And early in the game is going to be very telling. I think we'll score an early goal, and that's where I think that we're going to start to have some fun and take the pressure off.
He's done this before, isn't he? He's done this sort of thing before.
He's a bit of a pro, isn't he? He's a bit of a pro.
Did you hear the bit as well where he said we went to Burnley and they turfed us out? You see that?
Legend, you know. Wowzers. Okay. Well, that's
up here for thinking, down there for dancing, eh?
Make sure we keep this level of professionalism up here. You know what I mean? You can't start off like that and go downhill. So I'm going to come to you next and Sid. I know you're joking. Sid, you was at the game Thursday, as was Sean. Talk to me about the atmosphere and talk to me about how that atmosphere can play into the hands of us come Sunday.
Listen, there's no talking. Yeah, like Zaka said in that video, we're not talking, we're doing. And unfortunately, they got done, didn't they? So leave them to that bit. But I think everyone's seen it over all day yesterday, this morning. Everyone's still buzzing about the result. Even the pundits, even people that are not associated with Tottenham. You know, they were saying that the atmosphere was one of the best they've ever seen this season. And for me, that it needs to be like that at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium every single game. We now need to make that into a fortress under Conte. And you could see the players were well up for it as well. And from the first minute to the 92nd, 93rd minute, Tottenham fans were all over that. So same atmosphere on Saturday, tomorrow as well at 12 o'clock. I know it's an early kickoff. A lot of people are going to be falling out of bed or falling out of pubs or whatever, but we need to bring that same drive, same enthusiasm. and we need to rock that stadium. It's the final game of the season as well. So, you know what? As they said in the Young Guns in the 80s, we've got to go out in a blaze of glory.
A blaze of glory indeed. I've got to be leaving my house about 7:30 to get to that game. I want to make sure I get there in good time. Don't worry, I'm not that far away, but I want to make sure I'm there in good time. So I will be at that game. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I'm going to come to you next, Darius, before I come to Sean. I think on paper, and this is always what we've got to do, on paper, this looks like, and it should be an easier game than the game against Arsenal. But I think it's going to be a little bit different in terms of the mental approach that's going to be required for this game. Do you think this is going to be a bigger test than the NLD on Thursday for Spurs? Given the fact that we won it, hindsight, I know we've got to use a bit of that. But given the fact that we've now won that game, piled a bit of pressure on Arsenal, I guess piled a bit of pressure on ourselves as well. Is this a bigger game?
Yeah, I think it's a bigger game because it was just as big, should I say, because even if you sort of have the same result that you did at Arsenal, you win the game. If they win, obviously it's still the same. However, if they lose or draw and we win this game, then obviously we really are looking to secure that fourth place position at Norwich. So it's just as big, but it's one that probably we have more pressure because we're expected to win it more, you'd say. I think if we had lost that Arsenal game, given the circumstances, given the derby, you probably might be able to say, look, it is what it is, it happens. But to lose to Burnley, and George mentioned Ben Mee being out, but Tarkowski is also out as well. So they've got two of their main centre-backs literally out, not playing. Jay Rodriguez and Jack Cork as well, both out. So they got a lot of main players out injured. And it's one of those where you expect them to sort of not even consider this a game that they can win, but at the same time, they have to win these games because they are looking like they could go down. It's either them or Leeds, in my opinion. So it's difficult. I don't really know how they're going to come at it. I think they might just do a typical Burnley thing and really just hold out for a point maybe. But we, given our talent and given the players that we've got and given the situation that we're in, should be able to use it as like you said, a bit of excitement and a bit of a confidence to sort of go and win that game. Because really and truly, we have to do our job. We win those two games and there's not really much else we can do if Arsenal win their two games. But if we don't win our next two games, then we are to blame for sort of that fourth place not being ours. So I just think it's, like Sid says, take the game at a time, win the game, win the next one, and then you just have to watch Arsenal and hope they step up. And I think it'll be the Newcastle game that's pretty likely to be the one that they'll drop points in because that's their last game of at home as well. So I just think you have to just play your game. You don't have to worry about Burnley. You don't have to worry about anyone else. You just have to win your games and hope, like you said, when you've done it, you can watch the game on Monday, feet up, and see if Arsenal cock up. But it's anyone's still. I mean, it's still in Arsenal's hands, so it's difficult.
It is because, like I said, at the end of the day, we've got to look at the momentum as well. The momentum has shifted. If you just look at that in the cold light of day, we have got the momentum. The wind is in ourselves. Having beaten them, I would have loved to have really dented them by getting 4 and 5. Had we got that I think would have even more piled a bit more pressure on them because they were embarrassed anyway with the result. They were embarrassed with the performance. Me and George was talking about it last night on the stream. We were Olaying after 50 odd minutes, at the stadium. When does that happen in North London derbies? Olaying. And I watched the game back again, and there was this talk about Arsenal were in the game for 50 minutes. No, they weren't. They played about the first 3 to 5 minutes, and then the game was even. And then after that, we had some real gilt-edged chances, then got the penalty, and after that, the game was done. So all this talk about Arsenal saying, we were well in the game, we had this. No, we allowed them. If you watch the game, we controlled the game with the ball, and we controlled the game without the ball. And that, to me, is how we've got to approach the Burnley game. Sean, just before we get into some of the stats and all the rest of the stuff, do you think tomorrow is it tomorrow? Yeah, it's Saturday today. I don't know. And breathe again. Right. Do you think tomorrow for us it's going to be a case of the same style of play, or again, are we going to have a different approach in terms of maybe attacking them more? This is what I'm not quite sure about. I anticipate Burnley playing a bit more of a reserve game, possibly to counter-attack. I don't know if they've got the players to necessarily do that. They've got a 4-4-2 system. As Dario is saying, they've got a number of players out as well. Away from home, they need to win. But the only other thing is they've played 35 games as opposed to 36. So maybe they don't necessarily look at this game as a must-win as opposed to a not-lose. How do you see it going then?
I think it will play out quite similar to Thursday, but we will I think George has said that we will need to score early. I think you made a good analogy in the green room where you were saying it's championship rounds, isn't it? It's, you know, we've got to keep them away with the left jab, and then when the chin gets exposed, you just got to land a right hand on them. And I think, you know, we've got players that can do that for fun. You know, our record from my memory is pretty good at home.
Oh,
and
you'll have to use your memory very soon, Sean. We've got little things to show to nudge that memory.
Given that I was 61 yesterday, I'm sure the grey cells are a little bit dead today. But Sonny loves this fixture. I mean, look at the Puskás goal he scored against them in the, you know, with the cheeky Jan Vertonghen assist. You know, so it's I'm looking forward to it. Absolutely looking forward to it. We've got, as Darius said, if we don't win, it's our own fault. But I think we'll win. The only concern I have is that if they do go up front, McNeil, Cornet, and Weghorst do pose a threat. I mean, McNeil's been playing really well since Dyche has gone, but I think the shine's gone off the new manager because he's had a few setbacks in the last wee while. So. Yeah,
they've done all right of Burnley since they got rid of Sean Dyche, but this is the time now where I think you need a Sean Dyche. In my opinion, this is where he would actually come into play because he's been there, he's done that. This guy who was the assistant, or I don't even know what his name is.
Michael Jackson.
He's
Michael Jackson as well.
He's going to be one of starting something tomorrow, you know.
Oh, Sid. No, you got too much ammunition now. I never realized the guy's name was Michael Jackson. That's it. Yeah. Fans, look out, because Sid's got plenty of them one-liners to come, I'm sure.
Tick.
Oh, dear
tick.
me. No,
Neverland.
Okay. They played a 4-4-2 mainly in the way when I've seen them play. There might be a possibility they change to a 4-3-3. I can't really see them doing that unless they have to because of the personnel that they've got out. But I don't know. I just don't know what Burnley are going to do tomorrow. I just don't have a clue. I think they'll sit back and I think they'll try and get set pieces and try and go from there. But if we, as we've done before, we go and get that goal, I think it's done. And as I said, we need to win. We have to win. And I think we'll do anything that we have to do, even if we have to throw the keeper up in the 89th minute, or whatever it is, we're going to do that. Let's have a few comments first. Let's go to a few comments. So we've got audio. Ariston saying, afternoon, chats. Afternoon. Mojo, he's in the house as well. What have you got to say to us, Mojo? I think we win pretty easily tomorrow. I have a feeling Burnley won't even be targeting this game for points. Well, let's hope not, but, you know, we can never look and see what the Premier League does. Spurs for the win. That's true. Big up Paxton Road panel. Newcastle will beat Battlers FC. So, like,
Bottlers FC.
Bottlers, not Battlers.
Yeah.
That's the eyesight. Yeah, Bottlers FC, that's Arsenal. Don't worry about causing every little thing gonna be all right. So everybody's jumping on this singing. That's a bit of Bob Marley there, I think we've got there. Oh, what have you started, my friend? What have you started? Mojo, don't try any high notes. Please, my ears are still hurting from your singing on Thursday.
No, that was just the atmosphere at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It wasn't my singing.
Oi, Jules, Paxton Road hoodie massive. She's got a hoodie on her way. Jules, thank you for your purchase of the hoodie. You'll get that very soon. Burnley have got the manager of the month. Curse 2. Yeah, we'll see if that comes into play. Jules is back in the house. And there's one more comment here from the Bertie Hotspur. Big up, Sean, on your belated Earth Strong. Don't look a day over 40, mate. Well, that's nice, isn't it? That is
21
nice.
years ago, that was. My God. Oh.
Right then, let's do this. Let's get into this. Let me just get rid of that banners at the bottom so everybody's lovely faces can be seen. Okay, so Burnley, Tottenham. Let's just concentrate on the two teams. In 4th and 5th, 36 games played, 21. Arsenal have won, drawn 3, lost 12, scored 56, conceded 45, goal difference of plus 11, 66 points. Tottenham Hotspur, 36 games played, 20 games won, 5 drawn, 11 lost, 63 goals scored, 40 against, 23. So that's a difference of plus 12, 65 points on the board. It is now itchy. Well, I say itchy time. It's like, no, there's no room for errors now. There's no room for errors. We can discount the rest of them. Man United, West Ham and Wolverhampton, because they're not going to do anything in terms of getting to that top 4 or 5. These are the games that kick off at the weekend. We kick off first on Sunday. FA Cup is today, obviously. Then Villa, Crystal Palace, Leeds, Brighton. That is a game that, you know, might put a little bit of pressure on Leeds if, you know, Burnley get away with a point, but I don't see that. So they might take advantage of that. Let's hope that Watford, Leicester is, well, whatever that is. Everton, Brentford was the game I was looking at. Everton, again, if they win their game, I think they're going to be safe. And that means the game against Arsenal would be probably null and void. I can't see them doing anything. But the big one on Monday, Newcastle versus Arsenal. George, looking at those fixtures, the only influence, I guess, for us is that Newcastle fixture.
I would also say it's not just that fixture, really, because like Sean mentioned, because Burnley are on 35 games, Leeds are actually below them at the moment. They're on 36. I think if they lose that game and they see Leeds drop points or Leeds, that game's the one I think they're going to really focus on. And for us, that gives us a big advantage because, like you said, they got that game. Although, just speaking about the Newcastle and Arsenal game, like he was just about to go into, that game, I see Arsenal dropping points 100%. There's no doubt in my mind that Arsenal are going to drop points. Sorry.
Whilst Jordan's gone to sort out the housekeeping, Darius, you take over until he comes back.
I think Burnley is going to be a fight regardless because they're going to want to stay up. But again, looking at that game, I think we need to win regardless. So I'm looking at the Arsenal-Newcastle game and St. James's Park, final day of the season. Or final sort of home game of the season. They ain't going to want to go out on the loss. And they're in a decent run of form as well. They've picked up a few good results. And they also been performing quite well as well. I mean, defensively, I thought Eddie Howe was going to be a nightmare. I know they got popped 5-0 by City, but I think any team can get beat 5-0 by City. So they did well. They held
Not
up.
us.
Not us. Well, yeah,
Not us.
it's very true. That's very true. Or Liverpool for that fact as well. I mean,
yeah,
they seem to not be able to do it. But no, just on that, I just think Newcastle are going to really want to give Arsenal a proper competition, and I think they will enjoy sort of upsetting a team or preventing a team from getting to somewhere. For example, like if they were to stop City winning the league or Liverpool winning the league, I think Newcastle fans will quite revel in beating Arsenal and stopping them from achieving something, even if it is quite a small victory for them in their season. But they've done all right, to be fair. They're what, 9th, 10th now in the league. They've shot up that table, so just a bit of momentum, send their home fans away with a victory. I think Arsenal may. Even a draw for us is amazing. That's what's good about sort of winning that game, obviously, against Arsenal. Now a draw, if they draw with Newcastle, we go a point ahead. If they lose to Newcastle, we go 2 ahead. So they have to win. They have to win their games, and so do we. So it's just about basically not worrying about them. Like Sid, I think Sid has got his spot on from about a month ago. Sid was saying this one game at a time, and it's working at the moment. So I think it's just still to do the same thing.
It's definitely. George, welcome back. You had to do a bit of housekeeping there, I see.
Yeah,
no problems with that. But you're making some good points about the Leeds having played one game more, although they play after Burnley. Burnley now potentially could think to themselves, even if we don't get points, we're going to be still ahead of them and be on the same games. Yeah. And that, I think, that makes a big difference because Leeds are under pressure. They have to, whatever they do against Brighton has to be a win. So you might be right in what you were saying there. So is there anything else that might influence how Burnley play this game?
Yeah, so of course it's like what I mentioned in the Arsenal game, which I found very key, was that they went into the game thinking that they didn't need to win. And I feel like that's going to plague the same thing with Burnley. They're going to come into the game thinking, because we got that game in the hand, we could potentially just go out and get a draw. And playing that way with players and having that mentality in your mind, it's not just the right way to approach the game. Because you're going to go in there and you're not going to go as hard as you are for those 50-50 challenges. You're going to play a bit easier. But yeah, just talking about Newcastle, like Darius was saying, Newcastle were in amazing form before they come up against Liverpool and City. They were 4 games in a row, and then prior to that, they played us. But apart from that, they've been very good. I think they're 3rd in the league in 2022, just behind City and Liverpool for points won. That's why Eddie Howe's got a nomination for Manager of the Year, because although it's the money that's influenced, what he's managed to do with that Newcastle team this year is step them up to a level. And I think Arsenal are going to have so many problems, especially missing the defenders. Ben White's not fully fit. Gabriel's not fully fit. And then you got Bruno Guimaraes, the midfielder, who's been he's phenomenal. That was an amazing signing for Newcastle. He's going to cause them problems, especially with Xhaka and Elneny, which we saw this week. Bensko had so much fun with.
Definitely. I think that is, again, I don't want to focus on Arsenal, but I just see this is the game for them if they are going to drop points, in my opinion. I think the last game of the season at home, even if Everton were to need a win, I still think Arsenal would do it because they'll be almost probably as desperate to win that game, if not more so than Everton. So I think that will be theirs. So this game here, last game of the season at home for Everton, for Newcastle, 55,000 Jodi's there. Sun would be shining. It won't be shining because it'd be an evening game, wouldn't it? But, under the lights, it will be one of them hot atmospheres, even worse, hot atmospheres, which I don't think they will cope with. Now that I know that the Burnley manager's called Michael Jackson, that's what I'm thinking of doing in my head. Little noises like that, ow, and things like that's just me. That you shouldn't have done that, Sid. Well, I'm gonna come to. Sorry, Sean. I'm going to try and be a bit more adult, but I can't help it. I'll come to you next, Sid. So this is our last 5 league games. The last one being the 3-0 against Arsenal, 1-1 against Liverpool, which is a very good performance. The 3-1 against Leicester, and then the 2 games which we may and hopefully not look back and think, 0-0 against Brighton, and the 1-0 loss against 0-0 against Brentford, the 1-0 loss against Brighton. Our form, having not lost in the last 4 games, scored 7, conceded 3. And on to Burnley, their last 5. Again, they are pretty decent form, apart from the last game they lost 3-1 to Aston Villa. But before that, 3 wins and a draw. Scored 7, conceded 5. Sid, even though they're in the bottom part, bottom 5, whatever you want to say, it's not a given in terms of, going out and winning this game. We have to go out and take this game to them, I think, at the beginning. But do you see any other threats from Burnley? Because they've got Jay Rodriguez out. We've talked about Cornet, Weghorst as well. Is he something or somebody that we should be looking out for?
Weghorst is, if Romero's not going to be playing, aerial bombardment from them is probably going to be an issue. But when we played them at their place, it was all right. I know they scored it towards the end and they won the game, but I think we ain't got Romero tomorrow, so Sanchez and Dyer, I think, will do a job. And if they manage the game like they did against Arsenal, because Arsenal are quite decent on corners as well, I think we'll be fine. I don't think they're going to get as much time on the ball or they're going to cause us as much problems as Arsenal should or would have potentially. I think, like George is saying as well, I think they might be coming for a draw because they've got a game in hand, and depending on what Leeds do as well after us, it could be massive for them to get a point. So for them, a point might just be enough. But we've just got to go into the game, mate. We've just got to go into the game, and we've got the players to win the game. Son's on form, Kane's on form, and if we just do what we've got to do, I think we're going to comfortably, win the game. And as we just got to beat it. We just got to beat them. Just beat them.
Got to beat it. Beat it. Oh, sorry. I'm going to stop now. I am going to stop. I am really going to stop.
Haven't they not? They ain't got a good record at our place as well, have they? So
don't stop till you get enough.
Here we go.
People are going to switch off. Come on, lads. Now let's get back onto the more professional vibe.
You know what? They ain't got a good record at our place, have they? So
hello, Sid. Nice segue into this, Sean. You was the one that said about the record. So let's look at the last 5 matches versus Burnley. We lost to them 1-0 earlier in the season. Was it the Ben Mee goal from that corner?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was. But before that, going back, who said something? What's going on? Oh, sorry. February 21, 4-0 to us. Back in October 2020, we won 1-0 at Turf Moor, and again draw at Turf Moor back in March 2020, and December 2019, 5-0 win to us. I remember that game. That's a good game. But our home record against them, as you can see in the last 5 matches, 4 wins, 1 draw. The draw coming back in 2017. George, how is this going to play into our hands? Is this kind of like making you feel better? Or is it giving you that kind of like Spursy feel? Do you know what I mean? We always have this sort of
Really confident. Really confident.
I'm glad.
You look at the last 2 home games, 5-0, 4-0, and the way that we've been playing with our attacking. I was just looking at near enough every game we've won this year, Kane or Son has had a goal involvement. And those guys have pretty much carried our team. And I think it's just going to be the same again. Kane's gunning, Son's gunning for that golden boot. Salah doesn't play until Tuesday. He's going to be looking to get one up on him. And I think I'm going to go for a Son brace. I think he's going to score a few goals. And I see us winning this quite comfortably. As I said, I think we're going to get a few early goals and they'll just start having some fun. Burnley might get a goal late in the game, but I don't think we're going to be worried about that. We're just going to go there and play our game. Not be worried.
We're gonna see how much chess we've got in the score predictions. Sean, this is the head-to-head we've got with the played 15 in the Premier League, 9 wins to Spurs, 3 wins to them. They haven't won at our place at all. Good news?
Of course, it is good news. You know, let's be honest. We've got something to focus on. We managed the game on Thursday night. We should, you know, as you were saying, from 58 minutes, it was keep ball, wasn't it? And they just, you know, were keeping Arsenal moving about while containing their energy. I just hope that they've done their ice bath, you know, have done their full recovery, and they're good to go again, you know. And I just want to see that goal being peppered. You know,
I love that.
I want to see the goal being, you know, I want to see Kane, you know, taking those shots like he did in the second half again, which Ramsdale dealt with, but you know. It was swerving really, really, you know, that kind of stuff. That was like vintage Kane, wasn't it? You know, taking those long shots. I mean, that penalty. I was going like this. Come on, Harry. Come on, Harry. But why was I doing that? It was obvious he was going to score. He sent the keeper the wrong way, you know. And then that poacher's goal. I mean, that was just fabulous. That reminds me of his. Remember the game we won where Kane scored the 2 goals when he was just not newly into the team. He scored one at the back post, and then he scored that header from Bentaleb's cross. I mean, it was just fabulous to see. And, you know, poor old Soddy having a bit of a week for not being getting on with his task of chasing down Salah. But, yeah, we've got the players to beat this lot. Of course we have.
It's going to be...
I mean, our midfield on Thursday was just exceptional. I mean... Højbjerg's got a lot of plaudits, but I just saw Bentancur just everywhere. He was covered every blade of grass, never lost the ball, never panicked. Oh, what a player. What a player.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah.
reckon
56 passes attempted, 53 completed. Amazing game, man.
Well, I'm hoping for a thriller tomorrow. Again, another one of those Michael Jackson plugs, if you didn't get it. But... I'm trying my best here. I've got my piercing. That's you. You started this shit.
Yeah, but Burnley will be trying to play the wall, won't they? Off the wall.
I swear we're going to lose viewers here if we're not careful, lads. We're going to lose viewers. Make sure you like the stream. You don't have to like some of our puns here, but just like the stream anyway. Press that like button. Okay, this is the last bit that I wanted to see. Darius, these are what I put down as my ones to watch. I think because of the way Burnley play, I looked at their 4-4-2, and I think it's going to be a battle of the forwards. They're going to want to get their ball up top. If Weghorst plays, it could be Weghorst and Cornet. If they want to go with a target man and a bit of pace behind them. But I think Harry Kane is going to have the space. If they allow him to have the space because of the 4-4-2 system and they don't pick him up, I think he's going to have the freedom of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and really cause them damage. I think he is going to be a key man. We see in that derby, he pops up with goals, but he also is a creator. He's also going to be able to pull the strings in that midfield. Is there anybody else that you might think we need to watch out for tomorrow, Darius?
Despite him having 2 good games in a row, which I never thought I'd ever say in Emerson, I think Dwight McNeil on the left against Emerson is another battle that you probably have to pay attention to, just because I'm surprised myself in Emerson's performances. I'm not convinced yet. I don't think I'll ever be convinced at all. I know he's got a running meme of putting up compilations now after every performance. Despite him having a good or bad game, he still managed to get a minute of content on. So big up to him.
Is that him or is it somebody doing that for him?
Honestly,
I don't know, you know.
Him, but big up whoever who's going for it.
We can't lie, we was waiting for the Arsenal one though.
I was waiting for the Arsenal one.
I was waiting for the Arsenal.
I was waiting. I think it's
hold on.
Meme.
The man is a badass, picking up the the flare after Sonny's goal, man. That was just absolute genius.
He is. I think he'll become, despite him probably not being the best player, I think he'll become a favorite among fans. And he's had 2 good games, but I still think Dwight McNeil's a very good player and someone who I would actually consider bringing in.
I'm not sure that Dwight. I don't think McNeil will be playing on the left. He's been playing on the right.
Has he?
Cornet's been playing on the left, hasn't he?
Is that what they've been doing recently? That's
Cornet's just as dangerous, to be fair.
That's
he's dangerous.
See, I thought Cornet would play up front, so obviously Jay Rodriguez being out, Cornet might go up front.
They said Rodriguez is back in training. They did.
Cool.
But they've also got Ashley Barnes. Ashley Barnes. So again, they could have a choice of Ashley Barnes and Weghorst. They could have Cornet. You know, I don't know if they go for the 4-4-2. Then I can see it being Ashley Barnes.
Don't you think though, Sam, that going for, like you said, with the 4-4-2, the problem is that no one uses this formation anymore. Because when you play against 3 at the back, we match them up perfectly in every position. They only have 2 midfielders. We have 2 midfielders. We got 3 centre backs against their 2 strikers. The wing backs are going to mark and when we go forward, we got 3 players against their back line of 4. Like, we match them up in every position and we outnumber them on the pitch. Although having the same. So I don't think there's any way that they can break us down apart from those long free kicks where they always hit us with and where we're always bad in the headers anyway.
George, I'm kind of expecting Burnley to play 4-5-1.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, do you think they might even put 5 at the back?
No, I don't know.
No, 4-5-1 just to crowd out the midfield.
I'm not sure.
They can do what they want. They can play whatever formation they want. We're just going to batter them, man. Don't forget about them. We just go and win the game. Who cares what they're going to do?
It's very true. I think we do look at these formations. I think because we've seen the likes of Southampton, we've seen the likes of Wolves do it, we've seen Brighton do it effectively. But those teams are teams that I would consider to be good in terms of possession. I'm not saying that Burnley are bad in possession, but they're not a possession-based team, and therefore they're not going to, their approach, even if they get the ball, what they're going to do with it, they still want to just get it up front as quickly as possible. That's why I'm looking at the 4-4-2, because it allows them to get the ball, get it up front quicker, and put pressure on us in those areas against 3 centre-backs. And depending on how split they are, because of their wide players and what our wing-backs do, it could be a little bit defensive at times. But I think, as Sid was saying, we're just going to have to just go out and win. Sid, what's your thoughts in terms of how you think Burnley might set up? Is it a 4-4-2, 4-3-3, 5-4-1, or like you said, does it not matter?
Listen, I don't care how they set up, what they do, if they turn up, if they don't turn up. I couldn't give a monkeys, to be fair. We've just got to turn up. We've got whatever they play, we've just got to match them and beat them. Simple as. And obviously they've got other things on their mind. They're fighting relegation and born and bred in Preston, mate. I hope they go down, because Preston, Burnley, you know what? It's battles as well. So if they go down, they go down. I'm not bothered. As far as I'm concerned, it's the final home game of the season. We've got to go there. We've got to turn up. Everyone's going to be buzzing after Thursday night. So just continue it. I don't really care if it was Real Madrid, Burnley, Liverpool, Man City. I don't care who they're playing tomorrow. We've just got to turn up. One game at a time. We just turn up and we take the points. Simple as.
I 100% agree. Right then, this is it then. This is the point. This is the point where chest come out, lads. It's chest time. Right. Okay. Woo.
Sorry. Just one thing, yeah. Joe, it wasn't Bubbles the monkey. It was no reference to Michael Jackson, man. Oh dear.
Oh no. What is going on with this Michael Jackson reference? Anyway, it's good. It's good fun. Right, let's start then. Let's start with you, Sean. Because you got it right. You got the prediction right against the Arsenal. So it's only right that the champion starts. What you telling me?
Same again.
3-0. Ooh. 3-0. Nice and easy there. Jod, score prediction, please.
I'm going 4-1.
Ooh, chest. Like
Sonny Brace.
Sonny Brace. Oof. Even goal scorers in there. Sid.
2 things, right? First thing, after Thursday night, all I want to say is, Arteta, are you okay? Okay. Arteta, are you okay? Okay. Because they were struck by Son and Kane criminals. Right. So I'm going to go with, I think it's going to be a rout, to be fair. I think 3-0 to Spurs.
Yeah.
We take the 3 points. And sorry about this, but I don't care. Monday night, I don't care if it doesn't matter if they're playing black or white. I hope they just beat them.
You know, he was just sat there. He was just sat there thinking about that the whole time, ready like a loaded
Hold on a
gun.
second, Sid. Did you not miss it? ABC?
No, I'm not. That's me done now. No more. No more.
My eyes are watering,
It's a talent. I'll give you that.
You know what? Honestly, I have to give big respect to Michael Jackson. The reason why is because he was a Preston North End player, and it's my hometown, and he was a solid centre back for us. So, do you know what? Big up to him. Good player. Good
Didn't even
player.
know he played, to be honest.
Yeah, he played for Preston North End. He was a quality player, mate. Honestly,
He did better when he signed for Motown, then certainly. Darius.
I kind of personally want to be responsible for us winning on Thursday, because, you know, normally when I'm positive, the opposite happens. So I was being negative. So, you know, obviously Arsenal would realise that, and we went and won.
He's taking the Martin Keown position, isn't
he?
Proven my hypothesis.
It's like Martin Keown saying it wouldn't have a Spurs player in his team, and then Simon Jordan taking him apart and talk sports, saying, so basically you just lied because you just ended up Kane and Son, man. God.
I still predicted a win, but this time I'm actually going to go a bit confident. I'm going to say 4-0 Spurs, only because I think I can't remember which one of you guys, I'm sorry, mentioned about Son going for that golden boot, but I think that's going to give him a lot of motivation, especially because he was subbed.
He was hooked. Very good.
He's gonna want to score 2 minimum that game.
Yeah, did you not see Conte at the end though? When he on the final whistle, he was really made a big deal of hugged him.
Because Conte realized he messed up. He realized he messed up. Yeah. Conte's a competitor, and he understands that Son is his best when he's a competitor. And I haven't really seen Son like this, to be honest with you. He's normally a content with, you know, third top goal scorer, maybe. He's done his thing for the team, but I think he wants a few individual awards now. He wants to create a bit of a legacy. So good on him. And to be honest with you, he's my Premier League player of the season, because 21 goals, no penalties. I don't care what anybody says. 21 goals, no penalties is much better than what Salah's done.
Yeah.
Everyone in the Spurs family, get on PremierLeague.com and vote.
Need to vote for Sonny. He's my, and I'm not even. Obviously it's biased, but I would say that without bias as well. As much as Salah's a goal ahead and Liverpool could potentially win 2 trophies, 3 trophies, Sonny has been better than Kane throughout the whole season, except for maybe a period of January to March where Kane was supernova. He's been consistent. He scored 21 goals, no penalties. He's easily player of the season.
4 goals with his weaker foot. I mean,
most goals.
Have a weaker foot, man.
He doesn't have a weak foot. He doesn't have a weak foot. He's incredible. And Gary Neville started to sort of now he's starting to sing the praises that he should be talking of him in the same categories as De Bruyne's and Salah, because in my opinion he is in that category. He's by far top best left winger in the league, in my opinion. Yeah, probably best forward, maybe best left winger in the world. I'll go that far to say, if Mbappe's not classed as a winger. So yeah, for me, Son's gonna go supernova this game. He'll probably score 2. I think he might even get a hat-trick this game. So I'm gonna say 4-0.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that there's going to be some scores there. Let me give my score prediction, and I'm going to come to you guys for your. We'll get to some comments first, and then we'll do your final thoughts. Looking at the record, looking at what George said earlier about, you know, them playing 1 game less than Leeds, I think that's going to have an effect, because they might not necessarily have to get out to win. That in between status is going to play into our hands. I think it's going to be a comfortable victory as well. I always like to add a goal. This time I'm not going to add a goal. I'm just going to go 3-0. I think Spurs will score. They don't need to go for 4, 5s, and 6s. Yeah. And if they were going to do that, they would have probably done that against 10 men against Arsenal. So I think.
How close is the goal difference? Sorry to interrupt you, Sam. Are we quite a good distance from Arsenal in terms of goal difference?
They're on plus 11. We're on plus 23. So it's not questionable at the moment. So.
It's worth an extra point. It's worth an extra point.
Very impressive to say that we are on plus 23 from where we were. January. It just shows how many goals Conte is. Amazing.
Exactly. But how many?
-2 at one point. I remember that.
Yeah. You've got to look at his defensive record as well. That's for me key. We've had a load more clean sheets recently than we have done for a very long time, especially under Nuno.
Is it?
third most in the league, joint with Chelsea and
Jeez.
Arsenal.
Wow.
There you go, and that's what I'm saying.
I didn't know that. I didn't know
You
that.
build. They always say you build championships off defense. Do you know what I mean? Attackers win you games, defenses win you championships.
And he hasn't even really brought anybody in either. I mean, Romero came before him as well. I know Romero's sort of perfect for Conte, but he's not really got any of his ideal centre backs in. I think if you see 2 more centre backs come in, you might even see the defence improve even more, and that's quite a scary sight, knowing that Kane and Son don't seem to be slowing down either.
It is scary, right? Let's have a look at some of these. What people are saying here. So we've got Ray on here saying 4-0. Lloyd Hughes 4-1 to the Spurs. Comment here from Steve. It's black and white. They will be dangerous to take their squad beating. No, don't stop until we get enough kind of thing. Wow. People. You jumped on this bandwagon. Indeed, you certainly have. We have to show Burnley a clean, fresh pair of studs and out-muscle, outplay and class them like we usually do, outclass them like we usually do at our place. I think that's true.
Really?
Ray again. Another comment. Lots of first-team Burnley players are missing. Yep. Score prediction from Ellie, 4-0. We've got here another 4-0, 2 each, Son and Kane from Mojo. Scorers, Kulu, Son, and Sanchez? Whoa. Hold on a minute.
Hey, put respect on his name. Watford away.
No. I respect Sanchez.
Yeah.
I'll give him his dues. He had a bit of a shaky start, but after that, he was solid, I think. Yeah, I think he was good. NS Sports is saying, big up Paxton Road. Thank you very much for that. That's brilliant.
Cheers.
Conte gave Sonny a hug because he wanted to show him that he's still his teacher's pet. I think so too. You know what I mean? NS Sports TV, because he's a Chelsea fan, is saying that Burnley are going to get 2 goals in here, but he's still saying it's 4-2 to the Spurs. You know, we will see. We will see. I think Chelsea are out of it, aren't they? We're not dealing with Chelsea, are we anymore?
No.
We're not talking about them. Yeah, okay. We're not talking about Chelsea anymore. What happens with Sarr coming in? That's going to be interesting. Whether or not he's a player.
He's going on loan.
Yeah, I think you're right, Larry. I think he's going to get sent back on loan as well. I do.
Yeah, no chance he's getting a starting. They'll probably buy another centre mid, I think, in the summer as well. I don't even think he probably won't see game time, to be fair, for another year.
He'll be in and around the team. Conte likes players of his.
You think?
He's very physical, very big. I think.
He is,
I don't think he'll play too often, but I think he'll be in and around the team for the amount of competition.
Yeah, I personally would like to see that. I'd like to see him stay, but I just feel like he'll probably.
You know what they could do? They could bring him in for the first 6 months and then send him out in January if that's the case. You know,
that's true. That's a really good
season, and then
I think Conte will make a decision over the pre-season.
Yeah.
I'm
still excited though. I'm still excited because, like George said, he's for a 18, 19-year-old kid. He's big and he's quick as well, and he's got good feet. So, I mean, he's a promising guy. It's just whether Conte's got the time for him.
Right then, final words. Darius, start with you. Final thoughts.
As sad as it is, and as much as I will watch this game, I'm still going to be more bothered about the Arsenal Newcastle game, just because it is what it is. I mean, that game's still more important. We have to win the game. I think we will win the Burnley game, but nothing matters if Arsenal don't drop points. So I'm going to be intently watching that game. I am going to be a Jodi from after Sunday. I'm a Jodi until Monday night. I'm a Jodi. I'll probably even find a black and white t-shirt somewhere and wear it. I don't have a Newcastle top, so yeah, I just hope Newcastle can, even a draw will be great. A win will be for Newcastle will be perfect, but a draw will put us top, will keep us 4th, because obviously we win on Sunday and we are 4th, but it's only for a day. So yeah, I'll be watching that Arsenal game with eagle eyes.
Eagle eyes. We've got to do what we've got to do first.
100%.
Final thoughts.
Just hope Ant and Deck turn up on Monday night as well and get the fans going, because you know what, that would be wicked. You know what I mean? That would be a wicked Saturday night takeaway for us lot. But do you know what? Just on a departing thing, don't you think? Yeah, Conte is the man, and don't you think Conte is healing the world, making it a better place for you and for me and the whole entire Tottenham fan base?
He's not stopped.
He's the best.
He is the best. That's what I'm saying. Viewers, we have fun on here. Come on, you can't knock us for not having fun on this channel. Definitely, because when we're not having fun, it's not very good, because we are very, very sour.
Avengers assemble. Yeah.
Ooh, it's sour. It's sour. Yeah, sorry about that, NS Sports. Jodi is traveling at the moment and in a different time zone, so couldn't get to do the shows, but she'll be back soon and she'll be doing, obviously, from next season. We'll have all the play rating shows to continue on. George.
Yeah, I'm look, as you said at the start of the show, I'm just looking to get the job done. I'm focused on Tottenham. All you can do is focus on yourself, get the win against Burnley, get the win against Norwich. What happens with Arsenal on Monday night, even if they do win, it's not over. They still got to go to Everton on their last game of the season, which they may still be battling for a relegation spot. And they can still drop points there. So let's not be too worried about that. Let's just do our business and be proud of what we do. Let's just get 2 wins out in a row. So
yeah,
let's get Burnley done. This is the first one, the hard one. And then Norwich, it's a free hit. So yeah.
Them Norwich players on the beach already, literally on the beach already. So
it's mad. There's only 2 more games, but it feels like there's so much football to go. It just feels weird in that sense. You know what I mean? It's like 2 games, but so much can change in the couple of weeks that we've got left. Not even a couple of weeks, week and a bit. Sean, final thoughts then.
We've got to the fans, as fans, talking to the fans out there. We need to bring the noise like we did on Thursday night. Bring the pyro, bring the atmosphere, get into the opposition's faces. Every time they're taking corners or throw-ins, booing, hissing, and encouraging our boys. I mean, that was devastating noise-wise. I mean, you got the real feel of the planning that's gone into that stadium on Thursday night. Unbelievable noise. I mean, the journalists on the Athletic said it felt like they were in the bass bin of a heavy metal concert or something. It was an amazing sound. But I think there's going to be TIFO again tomorrow, but organised by fans this time. So
in the South Stand?
In the South Stand, yeah.
They've got some massive flags and all sorts as well, haven't they?
Is there any flags and everything? Yeah, that's nice.
It's going to be mad.
It's going to be brilliant. It's going to be brilliant. We did a job on Arsenal out on the field, but also off the field. And you saw it in the empty seats from about minute 79 onwards in their little corner down there, slipping away like it was like the cowards they were in January. So let's bring that same atmosphere. Everything tomorrow is in our hands. We just need to win the game. I've gone 3-0, but I'll take a 1-0 off of Emerson's arse. That's all I want. You know what I mean? Just
take anything.
We just got to score more goals than them, but the fans have got to turn up. I know it's early, but we've got to turn up.
I love that one from Stevie Fraser, mate. Love it.
Oh, Stevie Fraser as well has joined on the bandwagon. Big up, lads. Great stream. Love the way you make me feel. Hey, everybody's jumping on the Michael Jackson today. My final thoughts is that I think that the comment George made earlier about Leeds and Burnley, I think that's going to play into our hands. I think Burnley are going to be stuck between wanting to go for it. I don't think they can go for it and really do the way we've been told that we are one of the best teams in transition in terms of counter-attack. And I think that's definitely true. And so if they open up, it's going to be a bad one for them. So I think they'll keep it tight, but I think we'll get a goal and make them have to then come out and play because they don't want to take a hammering. Again, their goal difference to Leeds is quite big at the moment, but that can change with a bad result. But Spurs will win tomorrow. I'm there. I am there supporting the team, as is Sid, as is Sean as well. You there, George?
I'm not there tomorrow, unfortunately.
Darius, unfortunately, you're not there either. Oh, God, man. It would have been good if we could all meet up, but I'm sure we'll get an opportunity to do that at some point anyway.
Definitely.
But I'm excited. It's excitement time. Right, before we go then, George, where can the viewers find you as your only special guest on here?
You can find me on my Twitter, George J4 _for George. Every game after post-match interview, I do my do-rag diaries. The do-rag's only on when we win, so that's the gig. But yeah, otherwise you can catch me on YouTube at Scrubs and Scholars. We're not very consistent, but I do have a lot of videos up there, so you can catch me there every now and then.
Nice, cool, nice one. That's been brilliant. And like I said, for a debut, you put us on back seat when you started off with that monologue. I was like, shit, man, this is gonna have to be professional here. I better sit up. But then,
it's Michael Jackson that ruined it.
He took it left. He took it left field, and we was off then. So brilliant. Darius, Sid, George, and Sean, thank you very much. It's been a brilliant show. I think we've got one more comment coming in here. Agreed, Sharma. But I thought she was going to say agreed, Shamon. But it wasn't Shamon. That's the last of it now. We're off. We're off.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Let's get this victory tomorrow. Keep this pressure on Arsenal. Win this bloody match. Don't disappoint. Fans, we got to stay with the team throughout, just like we did on Thursday. Sing our hearts out, and we will have the victory. Guys, take it easy.